Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back to Hanging with Mangg. We have 1 year finished of Hanging with Mangg. We are done, and we are on to the second year. Plenty more things to talk about, because that's what I like to do. And at the end of the day, when all is said and done, I like to say more. So, yeah, I mean, we're playing some Dark Souls today because, I mean, really, what's better than that? What's better than me playing Dark Souls and just talking? Doesn't get much better, right? I know. Alright, so this week on the channel, what did we do? We finished Hacknet. I know most people did not care about that, but I wanted to finish it. I don't like to abandon many LPs. I mean, sometimes it comes down to that for various reasons, but unless I really hate a game, I'm gonna try to stick with it. So we finished that. That was all right. And I lost a video in Shadowrun, but I persevered. I pushed forward, so that, I don't know if that will finish this week. I mean, I'll try, but I think there's probably at least a couple more episodes. Deus Ex, of course, will continue. I think I am past the halfway point, I would say, but I'm not really sure. What else? We did... There was a roll Mangg. Yes, there was a roll Mangg for the one shot, and then we did the Mangg cast, which was quite lengthy. Apparently yesterday I just really wanted to talk a lot, so I did. And we did the Starships video, Ziggy's request of Starships, which I don't think is really that incredible. That was cool. Incredible of a game, but that was his request, and I honor those. So there will be another video of that probably this week, because, you know, that's what I do. There will be probably a video about BattleCon, the card game, I guess. It might be this week, it might be next week, I'm not really sure. But I am honor bound to do a board Mangging video each month. So for this month, it will probably be BattleCon, and then next month, I'm thinking it might be Infinity. I'm not sure. I really want to talk about it because I want it to be a thing in my life, even though, you know, it is a two-player game. So yeah, what else? So the plan right now for October, as is I'm going to be playing through Fallout 3 in kind of a... It won't be... I highly doubt it'll be a full playthrough, but it will be kind of a road to Fallout 4 that I'll be doing, because I'm getting the new box set for Fallout that comes in a little mini nuke. So what better time to play a bit of Fallout 3 than when I get that and Fallout 4 is coming out. So we'll be doing that. And then we'll be playing Until Dawn and Stasis, which are a couple of horror games, recent horror games, because it's October, which is one of my favorite months. Plan on watching plenty of horror movies, doing some horror stuff. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. And then in November... Oh, before I get to November, this coming Thursday is the start of the beta for Rainbow Six Siege. And so I was thinking of actually streaming it on YouTube using their new stuff. So, I mean, I guess you could set your calendars kind of, you know, mid-evening CST on Thursday. I mean, it'll probably be like, I don't know exactly how they do it, but I imagine I can just, it'll be regularly uploaded to YouTube as a video, So that's the plan for Thursday of this week, is some Rainbow Six. Just me and random people. It'll be great. I won't say a word to them. It'll be awesome. And I'll have a shotgun and I'll be shooting things. Anyway, so November is going to be Fallout 4, and that's kind of a debate I've been having of whether or not I want to play through Fallout 4 on camera. I mean, on the one hand, I think that it would probably be fairly entertaining, at least the early parts of me kind of discovering Fallout 4 on camera and, you know, making videos of it. On the other hand, I don't know if I want to actually play through the whole game on camera, because I want to, you know, I like to do all the side stuff and things like that and really explore and, you know, immerse myself. And it's kind of what screwed me out of a good Skyrim playthrough, is because I did it all on camera, and it just kind of, now I don't have a great opinion of Skyrim. So I don't know, maybe I'll do like a intro video, like a start video for Fallout 4, where I'll just make my character on camera and just go out there and kind of do the start. Maybe I'll do something like that. After that, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I'm in the mood for. If I make more videos, or if I just want to play through the game, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, we'll see. Also in November, like, I didn't know this, but according to my brother, who made an event on Facebook for it, it is it's like the 10th anniversary, I guess, of Half-Life 2. And so he made an event for that day to, like, everyone to play Half-Life 2. And so I thought, okay, I mean, I'll do that. So maybe on that day I'll stream Half-Life 2 or something. It is like, I think it's like 6 days after Fallout 4 comes out, so it's not great timing on his part, but yeah, I mean, I could probably squeeze that in. Also in November is the new Tomb Raider, which I probably could LP. I think I might actually just regular LP that, because that's the kind of LP-able game. There's also Battlefront, which I'm probably going to get because I am kind of into Star Wars right now because of all the things with Star Wars. So I'll probably get it, maybe make some videos of that. But yeah, so that's kind of the current plan. Yeah. There will also probably be some other kind of nuggets of videos in October. Of course, I have other kind of requests and other special things that I occasionally do that people enjoy. You might know what I'm talking about. Maybe not. What else? Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much the story for the channel. I will be doing role mangging tonight. We do not have Ziggy because I don't know if you know this. Maybe you're not as well informed as I am. But there's this activity that takes place mostly in the Americas, specifically the America, and it's called football. And it's all the rage, guys. It's all the rage. Like, if you're not in on this football shit, you're shit. That's what I've been led to believe. And so yeah, that kind of, I guess, takes place this evening, and that takes far priority over anything else that might be occurring, such as playing a Star Wars RPG with some people online. Yeah, so, like, in my younger days, like, all I really had towards football was just, like, apathy. Like, I didn't really care about it. It didn't bother me. I didn't bother it. Because nobody in my family, like, my immediate family, cared about football. It was, like, never brought up. Because, like, in Wisconsin, and probably many other places, that's just how it works. It's like, you know, your dad loves football. His dad loves football. You love football. That's the chain of things, and that's just how it's meant to be. But you know, if your dad doesn't care about football, then, you know, you're on your own. So then it's kind of on your own to develop if you like football. So my youth was mostly spent with video games because that's kind of what my dad was a little bit into. That's what, you know, me and my brother are really into, like many other kids. And so we just like, all right, we got video games. So then it's like, you've been playing video games for years, and then it's all of a sudden like, people are like, hey, do you want to watch this thing on television that has no interaction and no entertainment value? It's like, I'm all right, actually. I'll be fine with what I got. I don't get it, but whatever. That's not to say that it's like, oh, if video games were on TV, I'd watch that. I was like, no, I wouldn't. Dota is on TV. I've seen it. I'm not going to watch that either. We have YouTube. Anyways, so yeah, that's kind of nowadays. Yeah, it's grown less from apathy and more towards kind of frustration towards football and its viewers. Because it's one or the other. Like Sundays now, or it's either one or the other of messing with BGD or messing with role playing. This was stupid. Jesus. So yeah, it's a bummer. So he's gonna be missing it tonight by choice. Let's keep that clear. It's by choice. But the rest of us losers are going to continue ahead, and we will be playing us. I mean, I guess it's called. Ren's calling it a session 0, which is kind of a misnomer, because it's still a session. So I don't know. I don't know what it all entails to make it session 0, but that's what he's calling it, so that's what it'll be. It is still a session. We're going to be playing. We're going to be rolling dice. I think he described it as kind of a prequel to the actual campaigns, to kind of get the hang of the system and how it plays. But we're playing the same characters and things like that. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I wish Ziggy would be there, because that would be better, but we've got me playing Artemis, who's kind of just a 15-year-old slicer technician. He can repair things, he can hack computers, and all that kind of stuff. And that's good. We have Jin playing a droid pilot, even though we don't have a plane. I think that's part of our session 0 is to get a ship, which is good. We'll get that real quick. And then the third guy, Henry or Heinrich or however he wants to be called. I'm not sure exactly what he's playing. I think he said he wanted to be a sneaky character, which is good. The issue is that our hired muscle is Ziggy. Like, he's playing a Wookiee, just kind of the brawn of the group, and he's not going to be there, so we're going to have to be especially kind of sneaky, which is alright. And then, you know, Artemis has the Jedi mind tricks, which seems pretty OP, because there aren't many Force immune, you know, species. I mean, you know, it fucked with Qui-Gon when he wanted to do it. Although, like, Qui-Gon was really, he was kind of cavalier with it. Because, like, you know, it's meant to be used to kind of, like, the light side point of mind tricks is kind of to just kind of instill confusion or something like that, but not really for any gain. But Qui-Gon's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna rip you off with this money that is no good on this planet. You're gonna take it. He's like, no, I'm not gonna take it. Also, I have no idea how to beat Ceaseless once you die the first time. If you die the first time fighting Ceaseless, I have no idea what to do. He just keeps blasting me, and I think that's why I stopped playing this character, because I can't beat Ceaseless. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know. Like, that's kind of the nice thing about just being a Force sensitive and not a Jedi, is I don't really have to... I don't have to listen to any code or anything like that. It's just, I'm gonna do what I want. So that'll be good. We'll be mind tricking all sorts of things. I rolled through that. Anyways, so yeah, that's gonna happen tonight. Star Wars, you can expect a roll manging for that shit. Very, very excited. Always excited to try a new system. I'm dead. Alright, but board games though. I did play some more BattleCon this week with my mom, and that was fun. It's still holding up. I mean, she's struggling with it a lot more than I am. She has yet to win, but she's slowly getting there. She's played the same character every single time, which helps. And yeah, it's a work in progress, some may say. So we'll probably play more of that, and I'll record it so I can do the board manging. It's just a solid game, what can I say? And they even talked about it a little bit in the latest Shut Up and Sit Down podcast. Paul apparently has been playing it, and I don't think he's as enamored with it as I guess I am, but he definitely said it was a good system. But they also talked a whole lot about Infinity, and that just made me sad. They talked for 15 minutes about just how awesome Infinity is, and I'm like, damn. I should live in the UK. That would be the place to be. But, yeah. Yeah. I also played Agricola, All Creatures Big and Small with my mom. Because I think she is very much a Euro gamer. I think she kind of likes the whole, the kind of a mental puzzle almost, and she doesn't really care too much about theme or anything like that. She just wants kind of a traditional style game, but, with modern sensibilities. And so that's why I picked up that. I didn't want to spring for the full Agricola, because I wasn't sure how much I'd really play it. And people said that if you just have two, All Creatures Big and Small is probably the better choice. So that's what I went with. And yeah, it is pretty interesting. They say that it's like really important that you get an expansion for that to add more buildings, and I can see why. The base game comes with like 4 different special buildings. So there isn't a great deal of variety to the game. I think you could I don't know if you could solve it, but I think you could get kind of old pretty quickly. So yeah, but it's pretty much Agricola, except you don't have to worry about feeding anybody, which is nice. You're just worried about building up your farm and getting a lot of animals. And like those animals, man, they breed real fast. Like you put 2 pigs together, you're not even sure if they're males or females or whatever. It doesn't matter. They're gonna breed, and your farm is just gonna be packed in. It's gonna be crazy. So yeah, we'll probably play more of that. I got Epic in this week. I think it was this week, yeah. Which is the new card game from the guys that made Star Realms, which is huge. Plenty of people know about Star Realms, and so it's like, oh, Epic, from the guys that made Star Realms. How could this be bad? It's Star Realms, but it's Epic, and so it's a different type of game than Star Realms. They kind of have the same mentality where they want it to just be in one box. You get a whole game, and it's all replayability and blah blah blah. So, but Star Realms is kind of their take on deck building. Epic is their kind of take on the CCG kind of Magic the Gathering type game. And I have yet to play it because it seems fairly complicated. And I see a lot of people are like having rules questions and things like that because there's a lot of keywords, and the rule book is very minimal because it's got to fit in that little box with all the cards, so they don't make big rule books. And for Star Realms, that wasn't a really big deal because it was pretty simple. But Epic with all these keywords and phases and shit, it's yeah. So I haven't played it yet. I'm sure I will. But I really love the artwork. The artwork they put together for that game is really good. Like I've said, I don't normally care about that, but when it's really good, I'll make note of it. Like any one of those cards could be like a Magic the Gathering or something, like, you know, real shit going on. So it's good. There's a lot more character to it than in Star Realms, where it's just like, oh, here's a ship, and well, here's a different ship, and here's a different looking ship. Like every card in Epic is like angels or golems and, you know, demons and wolves and all sorts of shit going on. It's cool. Yeah. Anyways. What else? We didn't have a game night Wednesday because it would only been 3 of us. Despite today for the game day, we had 3 of us and we still did it, so I don't know. That was cool. Saturday? Yeah, Saturday we were at a buddy's house, and so we played some party stuff. First we played Cockroach Poker. And if I can explain Cockroach Poker to you, because I think it's one of those games that, like, you know, every household should probably just have. Like it's like $7. It's pretty much just a deck of cards, but it's entertaining. So Cockroach Poker, it's deck of, I want to say 72 cards. This is just regular Cockroach. There's also Cockroach Poker Royals or something like that, but I just have the regular version. And so at the start of the game, you're gonna hand out you're gonna show deck. Bleh, you're gonna deal out the card to deal out the deck to everybody. So you're gonna, you know, deal out the entire deck amongst all the players. And so each player is going to have a hand of cards, like, depending on how many people you play with, it could be like 10 cards or more, or something like that. Probably a little bit more than 10. Damn it. And these cards are each going to depict a creature on them. And so there's like 8 different creature types. So you've got cockroaches, and you have flies and stink bugs, but then you have like bats and rats and scorpions and frogs. So you got 8 different creatures. There's 9, I think, of each creature in the deck. And so what's going to happen is, if it's your turn, say you go first, you're going to take one of these cards from your hand, one of these creatures. You're going to put it face down. You're going to pass it to another player around the table. And you're going to say one of the 8 creatures. You can tell the truth of what the card actually is. So if it's a rat, you could say rat. But you could also say cockroach. Or you could say fly. You could say whatever you want. And then the person you hand the card to either has to say, that's true, meaning they believe you that what you said is true, or that's false, and so they don't believe you. And then they flip over the card. So say it was a cockroach, and you said it's a cockroach, and they said that's true. They flip it over, and it's a cockroach, so they were right. Then if the person you hand it to is correct in their assessment, you get the card, because you fucked up. If they're wrong, they get the card. The third option is they can look at the card and pass it along. So they pick up the card, they look at it, and then they pass it to somebody else. And they can either continue saying whatever the first person said. So you could say, oh, it's a cockroach. Or they could change it to something else, like, no, it's actually a bat. And, the cycle continues. That person could pass it on as well, keep going until, they pass it to the person who hasn't seen it yet. Or, they can do the true or false thing. And so, but as soon as it's passed on, the first person, he no longer has to worry about it. It's kind of out of his hands now. So it's very much a bluffing game. It definitely is. That's kind of the point of it. But there's logic involved in it as well. And so like Studs and I, when we played last night, we were kind of the experts of the game. We'd played the most. And so I think it's very easy for experts to kind of beat a new player. So there's a bit more, there's some skill involved and logic, which is cool. So it's like, you know, well, I guess I should explain how you lose. It's interesting because there's only one loser in the game. Everybody else is the winner. You just have to play till one person loses. And you lose by either getting rid of all the cards in your hand, which means that you really just sucked, or you get 4 of the same creature in front of you. Because when you are given a card, like not in your hand, you have to take a card. You put it face up in front of you. So when you have 4 of the same creature face up in front of you, you lose. So when somebody has like 3 in front of them of like they have 3 bats in front of them, and somebody hands them a card and says it's a bat, you know, there's a very interesting logical process that has to take place where it's like, you know, if I say true and it is a bat, that means that I don't take the bat, which means I don't lose. But if I'm wrong and it's not a bat, I take it, but that's not a big deal because the game doesn't end. So like in that situation, you would never say false. Unless you were so damn sure, but you can't really ever be that sure. In that situation, you would never take the risk. You would just say true. So there's kind of those logical situations that crop up where you really want to just think about it. It's interesting. So I like it. I might even like it better than Skull. I'm not sure. Because I do think there is kind of that logic involved. There's some logic involved in Skull, but a lot of the times just like you have no idea, and it's just hope for the best. You know, I think Skull depends a lot more on people's kind of poker phases. Cockroaches a little bit more where you're trying to actually figure out what they're trying to do here. So yeah, that was good. And then we played a couple runs Jungle Speed, of course, because it's Jungle Speed. Yeah, and then today we only had 3 people, and so they were talking either 5 Tribes or Tales of Arabian Nights. I was leaning towards Tales because I've never wanted 5 Tribes. I'm not crazy about it. I would play it if it came down to it, but it is what it is. But then I grabbed Elysium because we haven't played that yet. And so we played a game of Elysium, and I think we all enjoyed it a fair amount. Because I tend to only buy games that are well received. So we tend to like most of the shit we play. So if I can explain this game, I don't know why I'm doing it while I'm fighting Sif with no Estus flasks. But I'll try to explain the game because it is pretty interesting. Jesus. I really suck at this fight. I can never do it. So, the explanation might have to wait a few minutes. Yeah, I don't know if I want to even try to explain it, so just hold on. I know I like to keep hanging with Mangg very casual and just keep it flowing, but I'm gonna stab you, dog. Look at this dodging. Look at that not dodging. That's bullshit. He interrupted it with like a touch. A little tappy poo. Little tip tappy poo. That's bullshit. Anyways, okay, so Elysium is, I think the official term is a tableau builder. Basically, you're trying to, I mean, the goal of the game is victory points, of course. I don't want to get into a full explanation. I don't like to do that. Basically, most of the game takes place over these cards. There are 9 sets of cards, and they each correspond to kind of they call it a family, but it's basically to like a Greek god. So you have the Zeus family, the Athena family, the Apollo family, the Hephaestus family, the Hermes family, the Hades family, so on and so forth. There's 9 of them. So at the start of the game, you're going to pick 5 of these families. You're going to pick 5 sets. And I think I knew that was a freaking mimic. You're going to pick 5 of them out of the 9, so every game is a little, potentially a little different. There's a lot of different sets you could go through. And so you take these 5 sets, and you're going to shuffle them all together, so you have a whole bunch of cards, like 105 cards each game. And you're going to take, and you're going to deal out to kind of the middle of the table, face up a certain number of these cards based on the players. And so the gameplay consists of basically every round you're going to be taking 3 of these cards. I won't get into specific mechanics, but just go along with it. So you're going to be taking 3 of these cards, and you're going to be putting them into your domain, which is kind of like in front of your player board. And every card does like its own unique thing. They all have different kind of powers and abilities and blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of each round, you're going to be maybe determining if you want to transfer any cards from your domain into your Elysium, which is underneath your player board. And so a lot of cards, many cards, if they're in your domain, they do certain things, like maybe every round or something like that. But if they're in your Elysium, they don't do anything. Like they literally are, their only purpose is to get you victory points at the end of the game. And so a lot of the game is kind of determining when you move cards, which cards you move from your domain into your Elysium, and if you can, because at the end of the game, cards in your domain are worth jack shit. They just are thrown away. And so it's really kind of an interesting game where you're trying to juggle what cards you want to take based on their abilities, but also which cards are useful in your Elysium rather than in your domain, and when you move cards from your domain to your Elysium. There's a lot of factors at play. Like every single action you take, the game's not very long. It's only 5 rounds, so you're only taking 15 cards-ish every game, so you really need, it's a really tight game of what you need to do to get the most points, and action, different things. I mean, obviously what cards you take is very important, but also which cards you transfer, and certain abilities that might happen. It's deep. It's a deep game, surprisingly. So we all really enjoyed it. I got 3rd place out of 3 people, so I didn't do very well. I think my main issue was that I didn't transfer enough cards, or I didn't transfer the right cards. And I also just didn't get enough victory points throughout the game, because certain cards will just give you victory points if they're in your domain, so you might want to just keep them in your domain, but you might need them in your Elysium. So very interesting stuff. We enjoyed it quite a bit. We'll probably play it again. It played pretty well with 3, which I don't have a great deal of games that play great with 3, so when we find one, it's good. Yeah, that was pretty much it. We didn't have a huge amount of time today, so we just did that. Yeah. We're going to keep trying to do the Wednesday game night thing going. Since Studs moved out of town now, I said that we wanted to do Tabletop Simulator. That's not going to happen this week, but he said he's going to try to keep his Wednesdays open for that. So that would be good, because they announced the Berserk Games or whatever, the makers of Tabletop, announced that the 2nd official piece of DLC, the first official DLC was Super Fight, which was a pretty weak DLC, but the 2nd official DLC that they're coming out with, like officially licensed and put together and all that, is going to be Cosmic Encounter. Yes. Like, that's big, man. That's awesome. Like, I was really shocked to read that, because I mean, a lot of people care about Cosmic Encounter, but it's not like it's not like a huge phenomenon or anything like that. It's just really good. And so for them to pick that as their second official DLC, that was really out of the blue. So I, of course, have a super mega jumbo deluxe tabletop version of Cosmic that I put together through many hours of scanning and hard work, but an official thing could be cool because it might probably look better than mine, and at the start it's just going to be the base game without any expansion, but they said the expansions are going to come, so that's really cool. So we're going to try to get that at some point going so I can record it, because I don't think I've ever... No, I've played Cosmic on tabletop a couple times, but I don't think I uploaded it. So, yeah. Anyways. I still have yet to play Nothing Personal, Tom Vassel's game, even though I've desperately wanted to. Getting 5 people together is just... Well, getting 5 people together that actually want to play, you know, a couple-hour game, it's different. Alright. So, at Applebee's this week, there wasn't a great deal of stuff going on. Surprisingly, I don't think Jeff was there. I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, so I don't know what happened. Maybe he got fired. It's possible. I didn't ask anybody. I didn't ask any waitress if he was gone. But that would be joyous news. That would be like the end of A New Hope or something like that. We'd all be cheering and dancing and stuff. We did get a waitress that I've noticed around for a while. I've wanted her as a waitress. We finally got her. Just really weird sounding. But she is very short and very cute and very blonde. It's great. And she didn't charge me for a soda, so I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious. I don't know. But why would you not charge me for a soda? Like, that never happens. Like, maybe she forgot, but I doubt it. It was just a soda and a side order of fries. I don't know how you forget half of that. She got me a refill. She knew about this. Maybe she thought I was the DD because everybody else got alcohol, but either way, like, keep in mind, this is where Jeff runs things here. He does not give out free drinks. He does not tolerate that, so she was risking her job. So, I mean, I take it as a good sign, but I don't know. She might be like 19, I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, anyways. What else? So, yeah, Friday I did nothing. Friday I literally just watched... I think I watched episode... I might have watched episodes 6, 1, and 2 of Star Wars. Something like that. It was something like that. Over the week I watched 5, 6, 1, and 2 because I watched 4 and 3 recently. And yeah, Star Wars is good. Saturday we went over there to a buddy's house for a cookout, and he had some coworkers. He brought some coworkers with him. I guess. I mean, it's his right to invite whoever he wants to his house. But it was funny because one of them looked like Mac from Always Sunny. He looked like the Wisconsin version of Mac from Always Sunny. And then the other guy looked exactly like Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. And I didn't mention that until today, but I mentioned that to my friend who, you know, works with them. And I'm like, you know, your one friend, it looks exactly like Dave Mustaine. And he's like, who? And I showed him a picture, and he's just like, my God. And, God, how do I fall for that twice in one video? Man, I'm just thinking about Dave Mustaine, apparently. So it was really funny because he looked exactly like him, and he played the guitar. And this was probably the weirdest part of the night, because 2 of the 3 guys there brought guitars, and they started playing while we were just sitting around the fire. And I messaged Ziggy like while it was going on. I'm like, this is what people who don't often go to fires think what is supposed to happen at fires, you know? Like, they see TV shows or movies of people sitting around a campfire, and they're like, oh, well, you gotta have a guitar, and you gotta play, like, these, you know, this kind of, like, country twanging sound of a guitar that you'd find in, like, a Tarantino movie. And it's just like, yeah, this is kind of weird. Because normally when we sit at a fire, we just, you know, we talk about stupid shit, and we're just, you know, talking and laughing. But we were all just sitting there in perfect silence while this guitar was twanging. It was just like, okay, this is strange. So, yeah, that was weird. I told them to play Ride the Lightning, but they didn't know it, I guess. So that's a bummer. Yeah. So apparently, yeah, I have a talent for recognizing people that resemble celebrities, or what celebrities these people look like. More often than not, it's a porn star if it's a female. So apparently I'm the only one of my friends that actually learns their names. I guess I'm good with names, but the waitress, well, I don't know if I want to mention. That's really weird. Well, the waitress that we had at Applebee's had a very strong resemblance to Dakota Sky, and they're like, none of them knew who it was, but they all looked at pictures, and one guy was like, he pulled up a video, he's like, is this her? And I'm just like, my God, we're at Applebee's. Have some decorum. But that was funny. And then we also have another female friend that very much resembles Riley Reid, which is strange. So, but then I also recognize the Dave Mustaine thing. And, yeah, so that's pretty funny. Anyways, it wasn't a very eventful week, but that's kind of the situation right now. But that might be all I have to say. Yeah, I don't know. I know you guys tune in every week hoping to hear some crazy shit, but I can't keep it up, man. I just do what I do. Just do what I do. Which mostly involves playing video games and watching movies in my basement. I mean, I wish I was like one of those cool guys that like lived in a shared house with like 7 other people and did just like crazy drunk activities all the time. But I'm not sure if I would have the same demographic. So, say la vie. Alright, then we'll probably wrap it up here. Roll Manging tonight. Some more Deus Ex and Shadowrun throughout the week. And that's that. So, my name is Mangg. This has been Hanging with Mangg. And I'll see you fine folks next week.